everybody, it's Al Kendall, and welcome to another edition of Album Sides. It's Labor Day weekend. Hope you're having a good one, and it's time to celebrate, of course, the first ever US Festival. It was my generation's Woodstock, or perhaps a generation just before me, as I was 11 years old. And seeing as how my mom wouldn't let me go to a concert in Lexington, Kentucky when I was 12, why would she let me go to California when I was 11? But hey, I digress. It was meant to be, that's why they called it the US Festival. The 70s were called the Me Generation, and founder Steve Wozniak was hoping to change the focus of the 80s to more of a community-oriented thing. Wozniak, of course, was co-founder of Apple, along with Steve Jobs. Wozniak designed the first Apple computer and the Apple II, which morphed into the Apple IIe, marketed to educators. But of course that was the first commercially successful personal home computer, as it were. And Wozniak, of course, was more into, well, of course, the technology thing. Jobs was the money man, the marketing guy. Wozniak didn't know what to do with all that money once he got it, once they became gigantic. And so he decided to throw a big old party in Devore, California. Built a whole amphitheater just for the event, bulldozed the land and built the stage. The whole thing was brand new, technologically advanced, of course, for the time. When you watch the screen and everything, you'll be amazed to think that that was at one time cutting edge, but it's true, it was. The property is now part of Blockbuster Pavilion, the largest amphitheater in America, maybe still to this day, certainly as of 10 years ago it was. And the stage can, I believe, still be seen in Disneyland. So they had moved it over there for posterity. I'm not going to introduce individual tracks today or anything, because it's Labor Day. Why should I be working if you're not? So I'm just going to let the playlist roll. We've got a lot of cool tracks by bands who appeared in order of their appearance, but not all the bands were recorded. So whatever I could find, I gave you the best of. And after that playlist will also be entire sets by some of the bands, whatever exists out there on the YouTubes. So I hope you enjoy it. This is a cool playlist of a lot of my favorite bands from the early 80s. Pat Benatar, Tom Petty, Fleetwood Mac. I mean, who don't you love out of all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? And the next year was just as good. Those are two great concerts in history. I hope you enjoy it. And until next time on Album Sides, I'm Al Kendall. Keep it in the groove.